So in this video, we are going to make a logical program by integrating for loops as well as if else condition, right? So in this video, we are going to make a program to print first, let's suppose 100 numbers or a number from 0 to 100. I'll print all the numbers which are divisible by 3 or 5 or any number. Clear? So let's go for a number, let's suppose, and that number is 5. Means I want to check about all the numbers from 0 to 100 which are divisible by 5. I will print those numbers. So what I need to do for that case, I'll go for I in range, because first step is going to be I'll go through each and every number from 1 to 100, right? I will start from 1, I'll go to 100. To go up to 100, I need to write 101 here because I need to write upper range one more than that. So I need to print I just to check if we are getting the correct value or not. Yes, if we are starting from 1, go up to 0. Now what I need to do, we do not need to print all the numbers. I just want to print the numbers which are completely divisible by 5. So how I can find it, I will write if that number that is there, right? If that number, after dividing it by 5, or I would say NUM, this is the fixed number. I is something that is changing. It is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, and go up to 100. I will divide that number by 5 and I will check if the remainder is 0 or not. If the remainder is 0, I will print that particular number, right? So now if I'm executing it, so here you can see I'm getting all the numbers. And you can see one thing is common here. And the common thing is all the numbers that you can see here are totally or completely divisible by 5. Right? So that is a really interesting use case. Like if you want to know, let's make this problem a little complex. That print all the numbers from 1 to 100 which are divisible by 13 as well as 5, because 13 is an prime number, right? So I'm taking number 1 as 13, so let's remove it from here and just write it here 5. Okay, and because I want to make a more condition, that is and here I'm writing that if I'm dividing that number by 13, it is also completely divisible. That means I'm writing two conditions. The number should be completely divisible by 5 as well as 13. Only in that case I will print that particular number. And if I'm executing it, so here you can see we are having only one such number, and that is 65. We are having only one number, that is 65, which is divisible by 5 as well as 13, right? So that is why whenever someone is going for any kind of password, they are using these kind of prime numbers, because the prime numbers are very hard to crack, right? Let's suppose if we are going for a number like 179, okay, and for that purpose I need to go for from 1 to 1001. Means I'll go for first 1000 numbers which are completely divisible by 179 as well as 30. So let's execute it, and we are having no such numbers. So let's go for 119 and see if we are getting any common number or not. So okay, let's write here 3, and here let's write yes. So we are having two common numbers, right? That is 357 and 714. These are the two numbers which are completely divisible by 119 as well as 3. Clear? So this is something which is a concept to tell you that how you can use your for loops with your if else conditions to automate a lot of things, right? In the same way, let's suppose if I want to know about first 5 even numbers, first 5 odd numbers, first 5 prime numbers, you can go for that as well. But it totally depends upon the logic that you are writing, right? Simply let's suppose you are having an OTP. Okay, OTP is there. OTP is something that you are getting from the server. Server is sending you the OTP on your mobile phone, and let's suppose you want to crack that particular OTP. The actual OTP that computer is sending you is, let's suppose, this one, but you don't know about this particular OTP. So what you can do to crack this OTP, now we know the size, the length of the OTP is 6 digits. So the OTP is, the minimum OTP value can have is 0000000, right? Or means we cannot have these values. The minimum value that we can have is these. This is the minimum value that OTP can have, and this is the maximum value that OTP can have. So what we can do, we can go for a for loop like in this case. Like I'll start the for loop from this value, which is a 6-digit value, and I will run this loop for, I will start from the 6-digit, go till the maximum 6-digit that we are having. And here I'm going to check. What I'm going to check? I'm going to check if the OTP, that something that I don't know, because I will connect to the server and send them one OTP at a time. So what I will do, I'll check if the OTP that server has sent me is equals to I, right? Then I will print OTP cracked, right? And here I will also write the OTP, right? And now if I'm executing it, here you can see it will take some time because here I need to go for a lot of iterations. But now you can see at the end it has cracked the OTP, and we have got that 567483 is the OTP. Clear? And this is how much time it takes to crack the OTP, right? But yes, one thing that we need to take care is that in the OTP we are having a fixed step that we can only write OTP 3 times incorrectly, and after that it will block you. But for that particular case, you can go for some SQL injections and use those stuffs to bypass that particular validation. But yes, this is the basic approach that we are using. We are going for these number of times. We are going for around 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes, we are going for almost 9 lakh iterations, and for all 9 lakh iterations I am going for each and every OTP. It means first of all I will try 100000. I'll check if that is the OTP or not. If that is not the OTP, I'll go for 100001, then 00002, then 0, then 3 4 5, up to 99999, or until and unless I have not found the OTP, right? So even if from the server side OTP is changed. So here you can see it is taking some time because it is going for a lot of iterations, but now you can see it is cracked. Even if we are adding the complexity to it, like rather than now just 9 lakh iteration, if let's suppose I'm going for 90 lakh iterations, even in that case it will crack it, but it will take more time because now I need to go for more number of iterations, right? So here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, first of all I need to remove this particular part, right? And here I need to add the values to change the range of the for loop. And now you can see it is going for the iteration, and it is going to take quite more time than the last one, but yes, it has cracked this OTP. Now the more length the OTP will have, the more time it will take to crack it. Clear? So yes, that's pretty much it about how you can use for loops with an if else condition to use different kind of things for it. So yes, that's pretty much it, and thank you. I'll see you in the next one.